First off, thank everybody for coming out. I know not everybody, is anybody from here? Everybody, you're from here. Everybody else is from out of state?
I'm from here.
Who's the furthest?
Canada.
Canada. All the way from Canada. A little bit different here? A little warmer. Okay, absolutely. All right, so I'm going to try to give you guys as much knowledge as possible today. A lot of stuff that I can go over. Holly and Tracy stole a lot of my information. You can come on up. Yeah, please. I got to have my coffee when I talk. So, first off, the main things that I want to go over today, and I want to go over a lot of different stuff. And if there's anything that you picked up from Holly and Tracy, and if you're taking cliff notes, three main things if you want to be successful. One is, and I'm going to get into all these, but one is don't ever give up. I know that sounds super cliche. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what your past is. I don't care what struggles you're going through, but don't ever give up, no matter what anybody says. Second thing is fail. Don't be scared to fail. So many people are scared to try new things or to take that chance or to try that new opportunity because they're scared that they're going to fail. And I promise you, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I haven't failed over and over and over again. And it's okay to fail. So as Dustin so eloquently put it, I have a couple successful businesses. I also have a ton of businesses that I completely fucked up. Okay? But nobody remembers those. Okay? Everybody remembers what I do now and how successful I am now. Okay? The other thing that I want to touch on is, and the last third thing is be yourself. Always be yourself, be genuine. Okay, and we'll get into all those things a little bit more. So, first off, I don't have any pretty slides like Holly in them. I'm not real digitally advanced. I just talk a lot. I want to tell you a little bit about my background. So, you're from here?
Yeah.
You're from here. Okay, so I'm from here as well. So, I grew up in Lilburn, which isn't far from here if you're familiar with Lilburn, Snellville area. So still live in the area. I live in Decula, about 15 minutes from here. So, but went to Parkview High School, had a great upbringing, played sports during school, wasn't a popular kid by any means. So kind of like Holly had mentioned, I think Tracy mentioned a little bit as well, I lied all the time. I wasn't proud of who I was. Lied about everything. I wasn't confident in what I did. And all I wanted to do was fit in with who I thought was cool. And so in order to do that, I had to lie and be somebody else, which made me not happy with who I was, just to try to fit in with some people that I thought were cool. Okay. That continued into my adulthood. And I had the best parents in the world. So this is by no means in any way their fault. They would have given me the world. But I decided to take everything that I had and completely throw it out the window and become an addict. So I lost everything I had, was homeless, living in cars, living on the street, stealing hot dogs from Quick Trip because I didn't have any food or money for food. So I would steal hot dogs from Quick Trip because that was the only thing I eat. Needless to say, nowadays I don't eat hot dogs. I don't like them anymore. So, but I really, really had a rough time. And I went through a rough time probably for about 5 or 6 years, waking up in jail, waking up in the hospital, waking up in random places in people's front yards, not knowing where the fuck I'm at, okay? And finally, one year, I kind of, and all this was in essence still me trying to fit in. I was trying to fit in with the people at the bars. I was trying to fit in with the hot girls at the bars. And, you know, it got to the point where it was so bad I felt like this is just going to be me for the rest of my life. I'm just day by day, taking it day by day. Let's see what happens. And hopefully one day I end up somewhere cool And I realized that you can't take it day by day. If you want something, you got to get out and go after it. Okay. So in that, my last year that I was an addict, I had a really, really rough year. Was in the hospital numerous times. Was arrested numerous times. I was beat with a wrench, had my jaw broken 4 times, head, skull cracked open. A lot of different crazy shit happened. Did a hit and run, and that was like my final straw. It's been more than 7 years now, so I can say that out loud. I did a hit and run, can't get arrested for it now. I remember clear as day hitting the car, getting back in my car, and taking off, and went to my parents' house, broke down crying to my mom, and this is when I was 25. So this past November was 11 years sober. So 25, and broke down crying to my mom, begged her to let me come back home. Obviously she let me, best mom in the world. Came back home and I told her I'll never drink again. And as I was sobering up, I started thinking about all the things that could have happened. And I was so bad off that I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about me dying almost. I didn't care about when I got beat. I didn't care about me getting robbed or stolen from or beat with a wrench, or if I got in an accident and killed. But I started thinking about consequences of life and other people, which I care a lot about other people. And I remember thinking, because it was a minivan, what if kids had hopped out of that car, or what if there had been kids in that car? And luckily it was just a small fender bender, but that completely put a fire under my ass, if you want to call it. And I said never again. So sat at home, waited for the police to come pick me up. About a week or 2 went by, and I was just looking out the window waiting. Never showed up, never came, nothing. Thank God. But since that day, haven't had a drop of alcohol, no drugs, no nothing. So like I said, that was November 1st, 11 years ago. So with that, I then got back into the gym industry because it was something that I loved growing up. My dad was really into working out when I was younger, and when I was in high school, I was working out. So I wanted to do something that I was really passionate about, and the gym was something that I was really passionate about. So I got into that and learned sales. And to me, it was probably the best way that I could learn sales, because it's the only thing that I can think of off the top of my head right now. You can probably think of something else, to where I'm selling you something, you're giving me money, walking out the door with nothing in your hand. I built so much value and a dream in your head that you're going to look like a Victoria's Secret model or a men's fitness model or something like that, that you're willing to pay me thousands of dollars. So that taught me sales a lot. All right. So with sales, I became really addicted to the sales aspect now, and I completely switched my addiction from drugs and alcohol over to work. Okay. At this time, I'm still single. I'm not married yet. I don't have a family. So I got really involved in the sales aspect. I always wanted to learn more about sales. I still wasn't familiar with the marketing side of things, the branding yourself. It was just, I'm going to get in front of a client and I'm going to sell them. And I was really, really good at that. So I finally got promoted to a regional manager, to where I was over multiple gyms, running all the personal training and basically teaching everybody at those locations how to sell training and how to build value. So that was the first time that I kind of realized I'm being myself. I'm doing something that I fucking love, and somebody else who was the owner of the company and worth millions saw value in me. And I'd never have, besides my parents, never had anybody see value in me before. I was just a tattooed fuck up. Still tattooed, but not a fuck up, hopefully anymore. So I really took it and ran with it. And I took all the business advice that I could get from him, learned as much as I could from him on operating businesses. And with that, I started getting recruited from other gyms to be their regional manager. And from there, it was kind of a who's got more money to recruit me type game. and I just eventually got tired of the gym industry. The hours wasn't what I wanted to work. I was there at 5 a.m., worked until 8 p.m., but at this time now, I had met my now wife and didn't want to be there that long. I wanted to get home and see her and not get yelled at. So I quit the gym industry, jumped right into opening a roofing company. So the reason I opened a roofing company, when I was in the gym industry, I had a buddy that was doing roofing, and he said that I really need to get into it. And he told me this over and over and over and over again. And he said, you're great at sales, you'll make a killing. I was like, yeah, man, it just sounds too good to be true. I don't believe it, whatever. So, and he kept on and kept on. Finally, he started sending me pictures of his checks. And this guy used to work for me in the gym industry. Now he's sending me pictures of his checks. 1,000 one week, 3,000 one week, 5,000 one week, 28,000 one week. And I'm like, okay, something's got to give. We got to figure this out. So I sat down with my wife, my now wife, and talked to her, and I said, I think I can do this. I know business. Let's give it a shot. So I just threw all my cards on the table, dropped everything with the gym industry, cold turkey, went in, opened up a roofing company, learned as I went. That was when fake it till you make it was cool, and that's what I was trying to do. And I did it for a little while, and but then I really learned the knowledge that I needed to learn. But my wife, she worked at a company making $400 a week, and did that for 6 to 8 months probably before I made any money. And we were having to figure out what bills to pay, what not to pay, eat ramen noodles, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, living room with a small TV and no furniture on the floor. Just, you know, I didn't go back to hot dogs. I stayed away from the hot dogs. But we got through it, and she supported me during that time. Made the money to at least get us by until we took off. And then once we took off, I never looked back. And I tell you that because, you know, like I said, don't be scared to fail and fuck what people think, was because my whole life, all I cared about was what people think. And I was always scared to fail at everything I did. And I took this leap of something that I didn't really know a lot about. I knew construction. My dad built custom homes for 47 years. So I knew construction. I didn't know roofing. And but obviously taught myself and had to learn it pretty quickly. So I did that, and it really, really boosted my confidence. And even at that level, when I started making some money, and I don't mean any extraordinary amount of money, I just mean bringing in a paycheck now, it really gave me belief in myself to where, okay, I can do this, I can take it to another level, all right? So with that, I started doing a lot of marketing on Facebook and on Instagram for my roofing. I have multiple companies, but for my roofing company, which was my first, the Facebook was much more productive for me than Instagram. I know if you're selling an actual product, like I have a supplement company, Instagram is more beneficial, but for a service industry, Facebook is far more beneficial. So with that being said, a couple things on Facebook that I want to get into that Holly and Tracy briefly touched on. First off, was anybody doing video? You were doing video on Facebook? Yeah. So video is extremely important if you're on Facebook. Reason being, there's actually studies that it doesn't matter if it's your phone screen, if it's a TV screen, a movie screen, a computer screen. If somebody looks at you on this, it automatically adds more validity to who you are. Okay, that's a proven fact. So anytime you go live on Facebook, they're seeing you on a screen, and it's adding more validity to who you are versus typing out what you got to say. All right, so don't be scared to go live on Facebook. And if you fuck up what you say, you fuck up what you say. Who cares? Just do another one. It doesn't matter. The other big thing, same thing with if you have appointments. This is huge for me. So I got about 100 guys that do sales for me. And when we have appointments, how many of you guys have appointments that you go to and you're going to be meeting a customer? So do any of you text that customer or call that customer when you're on the way? Shoot them a little text, hey, I'm on the way. So try this next time. Hey, Dustin, real quick, just wanted to let you know, my name's Todd Price. I'm going to be your supervisor today. I'm on my way. I'll be there in about 30 minutes. Record a video, send it to them. It adds a lot more value to who you are in your company. You took the time to do a special video just for them versus a little bullshit text. And now they recognize Dustin's face when he shows up, which adds a lot more validity to who you are. And when you show up, they feel like they already know you, which obviously, especially if you're trying to sell something, can really help close a sale, right? Other things on Facebook. Not everybody's posting daily, which I know I heard, which you got to post daily. So, and you have to post a variety of different things. Don't just post work-related stuff. So I own a roofing company. Nobody in here follows me, but I own a roofing company. If I posted pictures of roofs every day, who would follow me? If I just posted a different fucking roof every day, nobody's gonna follow me, okay? So somebody with dumpsters would, yes, because I'd get a message and say, hey, if you need any dumpsters, I'm your guy. And I'd look at his page, it'd be nothing but dumpsters. So you definitely want to post what you do. It's super, super important. But like I said, if that's all you post, people aren't gonna care. Unless they need you right then, they're not gonna follow you, all right? So the whole goal of social media is to have more followers, to be seen more. So besides work is 25% of what I post. There's 3 other things: encouragement, entertainment, and engagement. So work's 25, the other 3 are 25, 25, 25.
No, but we're talking about personal profile.
Personal profile, yep. I post everything on my personal profile. I'll tag my business page.
Okay.
Work, encouragement, entertaining, and engagement. So what do I mean by those? All right, so for encouragement, everybody nowadays likes the picture of themselves, the little meme with some fancy fucking quote on it. That's the new thing nowadays, with an encouraging quote. That's encouragement, all right? Say positive things, put positive things into the atmosphere, post positive memes, positive gifts, anything like that. Encouraging people, being positive. People want to hang out around positive people. People don't want negativity in their life. I don't even want to be associated with negative things. If I see somebody that I'm friends with post something negative, I unfriend that person. Because if somebody else sees that and they click on that person, who the fuck would say something so negative? And they click on that person and it says Todd Price is a mutual friend, I'm automatically associated with that. I don't want that. So I want constant positivity all the time. Okay, so encouragement is huge. The other thing, so we got encouragement, entertainment. Entertainment is going to be anything that is that's entertaining, correct. And it could be a variety of things for everybody in here, but it's going to be more so who you are. And this is why it's so important to, like I said, to be yourself, okay? Because people like me or don't like me for a reason. People are going to like each one of you or don't like you for a reason. If they like me, great. If they don't like me, fuck it, it is what it is. I don't care. But all I can do is be myself, okay? So as far as entertaining for me, if you look through my Facebook, you'll see videos of me working out. You'll see pictures of me and my family on vacation. You'll see videos of me looking like an idiot dancing with my daughter doing TikToks. Anything along those lines that's going to entertain people to catch people's attention. All right. And then in my mind, the most important is going to be engaging. Well, let's back up. why is encouraging, or why is entertainment so important?
Shows you like a real person.
Correct. It shows you like a real person versus a robot that's just posting shit about roof after roof or dumpster after dumpster or whatever. So it shows you're a real person, one, but two, how do I know that I like you? If I'm just posting roof after roof, how do you know that you like me? Or we have anything in common? So if I'm posting workout videos or I'm posting, I don't know, my daughter at ballet lessons and your daughter takes ballet, and there's all sorts of things that can connect people, and you never know what's going to attract people to you. And so by being you and showing your real life behind the scenes is what's going to allow people to connect with you as a person. You've heard it for years. People don't buy from what they need. They buy from who they like. So if they like, correct. So if we have the same thing interests, then you're going to friend me. You're going to follow me. You might not need a roof right now. You might not want supplements right now. You might not need security right now. You might not, whatever. But eventually when you do, I'm going to be the one that you think of. And so that's what I want. And so that's the biggest reason for the entertainment, is to find people that you click with and mesh with. So last, engagement. This is probably the most important one, and super important because this is what's going to allow, like Tracy was talking about, as far as people being able to see your posts. How many people in here use Facebook? Everybody? So how many people, do you see everybody on your Facebook feed every single day, or is it normally the same people?
Same here.
Okay. It's because you like their shit. If I like your post every day, I'm going to see your shit every day. So it's the same kind of thing. So certain people aren't seeing your stuff because they're not liking your stuff. So you have to get more people engaged in your posts. So what I'll do is I'll post random questions. Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts? I did that one the other day. It lit the fuck up. I had like 200 comments. People were getting debates on it. But it got so much traction, and then I can go back and respond to them, just like Tracy said, to bring it back up. So what that does with the algorithm of Facebook is it shows that I'm interesting, whether I am or not. It shows that I'm interesting and people want to comment and like my posts. So then it's showing more of my posts to more people. Meaning, when I do show that 25% that's work related, more people are going to see it. Okay? So engaging, and it doesn't have to be anything, it could be any random question that you think of. It's just getting people to best, out of town in Lawrenceville right now, best place to eat breakfast. And you're going to have a ton of people comment. So think about some engaging questions. Start trying out, if you don't believe me, try them out, and you'll see how much engagement you get. Any questions about Facebook at all? Any questions about?
So, what if the company has its own page?
Mm-hmm.
You follow kind of the same formula?
So,
If you own multiple companies like you?
so I'll post certain videos and advertisements on my company pages. All of my, like if I'm to post a job that I just completed, let's say a roof, and I'm posting the picture, I would post it, but I would check in at my roofing company. So it would kick back there too. So my personal page is more active than my business page.
More people will follow you versus the company.
Well, I do.
Manage that process where there's a number of people in here that own multiple businesses like you. Do you try to point out benefits of this company and say this is mine? What kind of messaging do you have that separates to each one of these businesses? Does that make sense? So that there's not this mixed message. This guy just does everything.
So
Or
one.
are you concerned at all?
So the biggest thing that I would say is a lot of people, so once I started proving myself, this took me some time, but once I started proving myself in business to where people said, this guy's legit, and every year he keeps growing. I started my roofing company 5 years ago, and we'll do 50 million this year. So people see that, but more so people see the success of my guys. I don't put a lot of my stuff on Facebook. Every now and then I will. I do like cars. I like cars. But they see my guys pulling up in brand new F450s lifted. They see my guys pulling up in brand new Porsches. They see my guys pulling up in crazy shit, buying new houses, different things like that, because I build a pay structure and take such good care, and bonus structure to take such good care of my guys, and am not greedy at all, to where they are 100% happy and satisfied. One, they're not going anywhere, but two, it shows everybody else on Facebook that this company is locked and loaded and they're not going anywhere. So then when I do open another company, most people would assume that I'm the owner, so I'm going to implement those same things in that business as well, and it's going to have the same success. Now, does it always have the same success? Like I said, there's companies that I've opened that were absolute shit show I never should have done. But it's a learning lesson. It is what it is. But like I said, nobody remembers those companies. I remember them because I lost a lot of money. But
I have a question. Well, I'm just, maybe the same question I've got. Like for the business page, okay, like us, we've got 2 or 3 different Facebook pages. Are you doing the 25, 25, 25 on the business page?
no,
Or are you just, when you tag the business page on the personal, it automatically kicks back to the company Facebook page?
it automatically kicks back to
And if
the
you're
company.
doing company Facebook posts, what are you doing on those? Just saying, hey, the guy's starting another job here, and then posting that on the company page?
The company page is all business,
Okay.
but everybody that's going to see your company page is a follower versus a friend. So your followers are going to see your stuff because they've chosen to follow your posts. Your friends, the algorithm will, even though you're friends, will close out people that you're not liking their content. So it's the same thing on TikTok. It's the same thing on Instagram. If I start scrolling through and I start liking girls in bikinis,
Spend a little more time on that.
I'm gonna get more of those popping up.
That's right.
And then my wife yells at me, and then I gotta start liking cars. So if I like cars, I'm gonna get more cars popping up. So it really, through different algorithms, which is way above my pay grade, they realize what you like, and they target you with those things. How many times have you noticed that you can like a post about a refrigerator, and all of a sudden you'll have ads about a refrigerator for sale? It's the same kind of thing. So, but does that answer your question, sir? Okay, so, yeah.
Pretty much, if you have different businesses, whatever you do on your personal one, whatever is takes to one of the businesses, you will tag that specific business.
So yeah, so a lot of times, like if I'm posting a workout video with my nutrition company, let's say, I will post that video to my personal page and tag or check in at the nutrition company. If I have an ad for sale of something that I'm selling, I will have that on my nutrition page. For example, I have some that say, swipe up now to buy. So I'll have certain ads that are on that page that they can literally just swipe up and click, and I'll post things like that on my business page.
What if you created pages in Facebook, like construction, it's like he does dumpsters, and it creates construction rental companies in that area, or if you create a page that says Permian Basin Party Rentals, and everybody goes there to find who's got jumpers or who's got whatever. I've got about 10 of those pages that I have. That I created.
Groups?
Yeah, they're groups.
Yeah, so groups are a little bit different than a regular page, because a group you actually have to be in to see it, which is good because then you're targeting your clientele. So, well, it's good and bad. So if you do jumpers, I take it?
Yeah, and dumpsters.
So all right, so let's do dumpsters because I know more about dumpsters than jumpers. So let's say if you're in a group and you're networking with other dumpster rental companies, and you have somebody looking for a 20 yard and you're out of 20 yards that day, and you can put a post on there saying, hey, I need a 20-yard dumpster this day, I'm out, can anybody assist? Everybody in that group can see that, but the group is only targeted to other business owners that have dumpster rentals, to where he might be able to say, hey, I got one I can let you borrow for that day, just throw me X amount, whatever. But as far as a customer seeing it, a customer can't see it because they're not in that group. So in that case, you would want to create a page versus a group.
Mine is like, one of them is find local contractors in Midland and Odessa. And people go there, contractors go there, and they put their stuff on it, and then I send it out to get other people to join that group. So they may be looking for a plumber, they may be looking for anybody.
So it's kind of like a networking group is what it sounds like.
Yeah, but I'm in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just continuously post in there, just like in those other groups. There's a bunch of other people that are not me in there, but I post stuff about, what I do in those too. I just feel like it's another little venue that
So
I catch something out of it.
So that's really good from a marketing standpoint. So for example, I have what's called Exclusive Business Owners Network, and it's a private group. I used to charge for it. Now I just charge people to come to the events. But I'll have people interested in joining the group, and let's say you're interested in joining, I'll vet you. I'll see if I think that I can put my face on, because I own the group. So if you're somebody that I can put my face on as far as dumpster rentals and back with my name, then I invite you into the group, and now we have a community of dumpster rental, roofer, landscaper, whatever, guy that makes business cards, fucking whatever. Because eventually you're gonna have somebody that does landscaping that then needs a dumpster. They know who to call. Or a customer that they're working with that needs a dumpster, and vice versa. So it's good. I use those more so not to get clients directly off of Facebook, but from a networking standpoint of referrals. Yep. Oh, my HVAC guy just did a house. They're going to need a new roof installed too. So he sent them over to me, or vice versa. So having referrals like that is huge, and building networking groups like that is super, super important.
Based on your credibility.
Correct. Because in my opinion, if you own the group, you want to make sure for your sake that if you send me out there, hey, I got a roofer for you, he's on point. You send me out there and I run off with their down payment, or I do a shitty job on the roof, or I damage something. Yeah, I'm the asshole, but who are they also looking back at? So that's why it's super important if you own the group. Now, if you're in a group, it's whatever, you're getting referrals. But if you own the group, you're the one essentially putting your name on those people that you've invited in. So make sure it's somebody that you've kind of vetted, know their work, know that they stand behind their product, that they've been in business for X amount of years, et cetera, et cetera. That's super important. Yes, sir.
So you've got a personal page, you got a public profile page. Are you doing the 25% rule on the public profile page or on your personal page?
Personal.
Do you accept every single friend request?
So, yeah.
Like, you can't follow you unless you guys are friends, right? Like
Correct. So every day I go through my Facebook when I have some downtime, and I look at birthdays for that day and people that in the memories, it'll show you people that you became friends with on that day, last year, year before, whatever. So if I don't see those people, they work for another roofing company, they do this, they do that, I haven't had any contact with, I delete them. Because I have 5,000 friends, that's the most you can have. So I'm constantly deleting people so I can constantly add more people. And I want to add people with more value. So, and you can get those people from anywhere. It doesn't just have to be from Facebook, but you might see a person, people you may know type situation on Facebook, but you might also be out somewhere at a car show or whatever, and or me and him might be at a bikini contest, and and then you become friends that way. And hey, what's your Facebook? Let me hit you up. Blah blah blah.
would you do when you post both simultaneously? Just because like your public figure profile can grow bigger? Or,
So my public figure is directly related to my Instagram. So I do that so that one can grow bigger, so I have more followers on that. but my personal one is more active. My personal one is the one that I post personal things about me.
And like your motive behind it is ultimately to build your brand or your business, or just
To build your brand.
yeah,
So your brand doesn't build you, you build your brand.
yeah.
Okay?
Just saying that. But if you can only cap it at 5,000, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you make that? If you want to,
That's why I tag my company page in it as well.
I accept everybody, and I have 493, kind of 4,990. All the time, right? So you could guess that one, right? But I go through them every once in a while, just randomly, and I'll just pop on a name. You know, I don't know, maybe one in the restroom or whatever, but I'll just go through them, and I find out if they don't live in my area, I'll take them off.
Yeah.
You know.
Or you'll scroll through and you'll see that their page is gone. Their little picture's gone, which means they deleted it.
Could be a spammer.
Correct. Unfriend them. Yep. So that's super important, so you're constantly opening up. But the biggest thing is, here's another thing, like I think it was Holly mentioned doing the podcast. Podcasts are super important because you're going to cross-promote. She said cross-pollinate. That's a little bit too big of a word for me. So you're going to cross-promote with other people that have different groups of friends. So that's super important with podcasts. I just did a podcast the other day. A guy that runs the Keller Williams office, the North Atlanta Keller Williams office right here in Buford. He had me on his podcast. That night, he aired the podcast. The next morning, I had a message from a guy that runs the Keller Williams in Atlanta, is trying to become a bodybuilder and does over $1 billion a year in business and wants to connect with me and me be his preferred vendor. All because I did a podcast. So same thing on Facebook. I don't get all from my friends. I tag other people and vice versa. Freddie's my marketing guy. He's got completely different friends than I have. Some the same, obviously. But I will tag, he creates a post for me or a GIF or a whatever, because I don't know how to do that shit. He creates it and I post it. I tag him in it because now all his friends see it too. Same thing. He posts something, a workout video or anything that he's doing, his podcast, he tags me in it. So now it's on my page as well. So now all my friends see it. So you're cross promoting and you're tagging people that essentially might not be on your friends list, but will see it because they're on somebody else's friends list. Does that make sense? Any other questions about Facebook at all? It's complicated?
All this between different pages and different.
So the biggest thing is building your brand, because exactly like he said, people are going to buy from people they like. Okay, so and who they have a connection with. So this realtor in Atlanta, for example, reaching out to me from Keller Williams, could he have taken the other realtor's word that, I'm a great roofer, recommend me, blah, blah, blah? Yeah, that could be it. That might be why he reached out. But the fact that we talked about bodybuilding and this other Keller Williams agent wants to be a bodybuilder, it's a personal brand. So a lot of people reach out because they like you. So you want to build your brand and everything else revolves around it. Because everything else is going to be kind of a tree trickling off of that.
So I have multiple companies like you. Do you tag each one of them in those posts, or do you do multiple posts that kind of what fits in that profile?
Only what it's pertaining to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, like just an encouragement, right? The other 25 that's not work.
Oh, so encouragement, I won't normally tag one of my companies. I'll normally just post the encouragement stuff with some words, or just the picture by itself, if it's got words on it. Sometimes I'll post a picture and I'll write something out. Sometimes I'll have a picture done up. Freddie will do me a picture that's got something motivating on it with my logo or a picture of me or something along those lines. Those I normally don't tag. That's just to have people liking it. Yes, I like this, I love this, blah, blah, blah. Normally,
Same across all platforms too, though. It's the same picture on all your platforms.
yeah, Instagram, everything, yes, yep. Now, if I'm posting a workout video, or I'm posting, let's say, a commercial we shot the other day for my supplement company, and I post it on my personal page, I'm going to check in at the nutrition company as well. Same thing with my roofing company. If I am out at a house and I go live, I'm going live from my personal, and I'm getting a lot of feedback and a lot of attention and a lot of validity because I am on screen, I'm going live, but then I'm going to check in at my roofing company, and then I'm also going to go back in and tag all 100 of my guys. Or 99, it'll only let you tag 99. But then they all see it as well, and all their friends see it. So going live is super, super important, because how many times, and I don't know what everybody does in here, but how many times can I post a roof and you be fucking excited about it? How many times can you post a dumpster or a bounce house, you know? Even if if the bounce house is here, right here, and we can all go down it right now, fun as fuck. But if it's not here and you're just posting a picture of it, nobody gives a shit. So you have to have some different stuff to catch people's attention. Yes, ma'am.
So with that statement too, so do you have like a formula for what you're actually posting on your business page? Because I think a concern is, just like with that, is people that are on your business page are choosing to follow you. You can only get excited so many times about a bounce house. So over time, I think the fear is people unfollowing, and then you lose that vision altogether. So do you have like some sort of formula for what you're posting to the actual business page?
Great question. So one of the things I was going to get into, we'll go ahead and get into it, was when I talk about being yourself, I also talk about caring, giving, caring about the community that you're in. The community that you're in is also the ones that are paying your bills, essentially. They're buying your services, they're paying for your products. So I'm constantly trying to think of different ways that I can help the community outside the box, besides regular, just not food can drives or whatever. We've done stuff like that before as well. But for example, I saw on the news that a company, I don't remember the company, it doesn't matter, a roofing company had went and done a contract with a homeowner, got $9,000 up front, ran off with a check, never did the work for the homeowner. Homeowner's screwed. It was insurance money. Insurance won't re-release the money. He's screwed. He was a vet. Now he's a school teacher. So I reached out to the news company. I said I want to do his roof for free. So I just gave back to the community, and I got free exposure, because now the news already did a story on how he got screwed over. Now they want to do a story on how I'm helping him out. Okay, so cost me a little bit of money, but way better than putting a billboard up. Okay, 4 years ago, because it was before COVID started. So we started paying off school lunches. One of the big things that I learned about that I didn't know anything about. My kids are young, so they're not in school yet, but they have school lunch debt. And so when I first heard about this, I was like, what the fuck do you mean school lunch debt? Like, doesn't taxes pay for that? Like, I don't get it. So when a kid goes through school, or goes through the line at school, they have 5 days that they can go through and get a lunch on credit. And it comes out to like $11.25 or $11.50, whatever it is. Once they hit that mark, they can't get a lunch anymore until it's paid off. So they can go through the line again, they'll get their little hot lunch. Once they get up to the cash register will throw it away, give them a cold sandwich and a water. In my mind, that's not fair. It's not the kid's fault. I don't care if the parents can't afford it, don't give a fuck, are lazy. Whatever the excuse is, it's not the kid's fault. So I started a 501c3 called Perimeter Cares, where we would go and pay off school lunches. So we would do 2 to 3 schools a week. And in 2 years, we hit about 96 schools and paid off a little over $100,000 worth of school lunch debt. And And some of the stories that we were heard from these teachers were crazy about how normally when we would be happy to go on Thanksgiving break or Christmas break, kids were crying because they knew that they were going to go home to no food. They were packing up half their lunch to take home to their little brother or little sister because they wouldn't have any food. Like, just terrible stories. So it was great that we were able to do that. Some of the stories that we heard were really, really terrible. But in doing that, it got us a lot of exposure. Ron Gant had me on, I think he's on Fox 5. We were on Fox 5, we were on channel, we were on CBS 46, and we were on channel 2. So 3 different news stories met us at 3 different news channels, met us at 3 different schools, and did 3 completely different stories on us. Then the Atlanta Journal-Constitution picked it up, another magazine picked it up. So yeah, it cost us a lot of money, but I'm giving back to the community. I'd much rather give back to the community and do good and also get some advertising out of it. Now, I got a lot of backlash for this too. You're just doing this for the publicity, blah, 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 whatever. Who gives a shit? I'm helping people out, and it's better than, like I said, doing a fucking billboard or a commercial on TV. And in my opinion, I'd rather help kids than help some rich guy that owns 150,000 billboards. So, does that kind of answer your question? So I do a lot of stuff like that. We do a lot of, over Christmas, this is the most probably recent thing that I did. There was this little old lady, she lives by herself in a condo, or not a condo, but a duplex, a quarter of a mile from my office, right here in downtown Lawrenceville. And every time we do a toy drive, we did a thing for foster kids where we were accepting pajamas for kids in foster care. We've done food drives, we've done all sorts of backpack drives, all sorts of stuff, because now, since COVID happened, they're doing free lunches, so we can't pay off school lunches anymore. So we've had to think outside the box on other things we can do. But every time we do something, she comes up and she brings a box load of shit. She's this little old lady, sweet as can be. And the last time we were doing a pajama drive, she brought up 3 different times. One time, a big trunk full of toys for boys. Another time, a trunk full of toys for girls. And then another time, all sorts of pajamas that she hand knitted, like hats and everything. So I was like, we got to do something for this lady. Can't roof her house because it's a little duplex. So we went and got her $500 worth of gift cards, and went live on Facebook. She didn't know we were coming. Told everybody on the way there how amazing she is, how much she's always willing to help, she's always given, and I want to give back to her. So I got $500 worth of gift cards to places like Kroger, Michael's, since I know she likes to crochet or knit, and Target and Best Buy, and told everybody kind of the backstory on the way there. Got there, she was super excited. I told her, now look, you can't use this on anybody else. You got to use them on yourself. And she started crying. She invited us in, showed us on some more stuff that she was working on right then, these little teddy bears, and had all that live on my roofing Facebook page. So it wasn't related to roofing whatsoever, but a lot of people want to see what we're doing for the community because we like to give back and help so much, and it also blesses us in return. That's been the biggest way to keep the retention and get more people on board. And I mean, I've had customers reach out to me and tell me, you are by far the highest price, but I know where my money's going. So that shows something, it speaks volumes. Any other questions on Facebook at all? Any other questions on anything? One last thing I want to finish off with that I think is super important that I was speaking with Dustin about. Has anybody in here done 75 hard? I saw a laugh. You're doing it right now? Okay. So one of the biggest things that I can recommend, and I'm not telling you to be a bodybuilder like Dustin, by any means. But one of the biggest things that I can recommend that's going to help you in business is discipline. Motivation only gets you so far. I don't believe in motivation. I feel like motivation's a crock of shit. Because I promise you, I get up every morning super early and before my wife, before my kids, before anything, make all my meals for the day. They're all in that bag right over there. Make all my meals for the day and then do my cardio before I get ready for work. I don't want to get up early and do all that. 6 out of 7 days a week, I don't want to do that, but I still do. So now I compete in bodybuilding. With doing that, it's taught me a lot of discipline. There's a lot of shit that I don't want to do. I love working out, but there's some days that I don't want to go to the gym and work out. But it's just, this is what we do. This is the process. And it's made me realize that doing the shit that sucks is what gets you where you want to be. And it's the same thing with business. So I've transcended that over to the business side of things. And there's a lot of things that I don't want to do, but it's got to be done in order to succeed. And one of the biggest things, and I get on to my wife all the time, she'd be mad as hell if she sees this video. Edit this out. Edit this out. So she hits the snooze button every fucking morning, and I'll be on cardio and I hear it hit like 3-4 fucking times. And I'm like, will you just set the fucking alarm for when you're gonna get up instead of hitting it for fucking 4 times? But I explained to her, and I hope a lot of you guys can relate to this, probably so, but every day, and I know everybody in here has probably saw the video of the Marine speaking about how once you get up and you make your bed, you've got a task completed. One task completed leads to another task completed. It's the same thing in reverse, okay? So as soon as I hit that, what's the purpose of the alarm? To get up. As soon as I hit that snooze button, what have I done? I failed. First task of the day, I failed. So what does that do? Sets the tone for the rest of the day, which leads to more failures. Well, I slept in today, I'm going to make it a cheat day. I slept in today, I didn't do my cardio, I'll just make it a rest day. I won't work out today either. It folds on itself. So that's why discipline is so important. So that's why when my alarm goes off, which normally I wake up before my alarm anyways, if it does go off and I don't want to get up, I count down from 5 and know that at 1 I'm getting the fuck up. And there's no other option to it, because I know that my goals, whether it's fitness related, whether it's business related, whether it's with my relationship, whatever, there's certain things you have to do whether you want to or not. 2 Fridays ago, I didn't feel like going out to dinner. I felt sicker than shit for some reason, I don't know why. But Friday's our date night. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's date night, period. I took my wife out to dinner. So there's certain things that are non-negotiables that you have to set in your life based off what you want to accomplish, and those non-negotiables cannot waver at all. So whatever those may be, and mine is to build the best marriage and best relationship I can with my kids, the best company, and my fitness. Those are my goals. And then have a nice car. I like cars. But other than that, discipline is super, super important. So I highly recommend starting off small, whether it's getting up and walking a mile in the morning, walking on a treadmill. I know it's cold as fuck right now. Walking on a treadmill, whatever it may be, doing something, going after work and doing cardio, doing something. I'm not asking you to go run a marathon, but doing something that you commit yourself to every day. Because I promise you, you're going to learn that the days you don't want to do it, you feel 100 times better after you do it. And it's going to be the same way with business. There's a lot of shit you don't want to do. Once you do it, you see the results that it brings, and you're going to feel 100 times better. You going to do it? Okay. Any questions? How'd I do? Besides sweating like a motherfucker, it's hot as shit in here.
It's hot.
That's all I got, unless you guys got any questions for me. I hope I helped you guys out. Yes, sir.
So how involved are you in the day-to-day of the movement company? I mean, I'm just curious, like a typical day, right?
I know everything that's going on, except for the last hour. But I know everything that's going on. So I'm always in the office. I know P&Ls. I know what jobs are going on. I know what salespeople are having trouble. I know customer complaints, customer issues.
So how do you keep it with multiple businesses and always stay involved? You know what I mean? Like, 'cause you only got so much time in the day,
Mhm.
you got other stuff going on. It's just like,
So,
engaged in your other business?
yes, but some of them don't have to be. So my security company, for example, I don't have to do anything unless I get a new work order. So my security company, I have cameras at truck yards that we install. They pay an initial setup fee, and then they pay monthly monitoring. So I don't have to do anything. I get a check that comes every single week. If they want more cameras installed, we install more cameras. Another initial setup fee. Their monitoring charge for each week goes up. So that I really don't have to do much other than cash the check. My supplement company, I have all my products at a warehouse that they label it for me, ship it out for me, everything. So an order comes through my website. So all I really have to do on that end is market the website, which Freddie helps me out a ton on that. So I market the website and or the Facebook page or the Instagram page, whatever, put out different promotions. People click buy, it gets shipped out, I don't have to do anything. So I'm still aware of what's going on, my P&Ls, things of that nature, what other products people want, what products I should come out with. They really like this flavor, blah, 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 blah. But the roofing takes up more of my time than anything.
Is that nationwide or is just you local?
Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Louisiana, Texas, Virginia. So southeast. So, any other questions?
Who's your hero?
Who's my hero? I try to make myself my hero. I try to get better every day. It's the best I can do. But I would have to say my dad. So he's the hardest working person I know, and still the hardest working person I know, and 73 years old now, and would still outwork anybody I got.
He works for you
Yes and no. His trucks,
when he wants to?
his truck's lettered up, and he's always giving people my card, and he works at he's retired, but if you're from around here, there's a little hole in the wall place called Matthew's Cafeteria, just an old school cafeteria over in Tucker, Georgia. And so he'll go up there. He usually goes up there and hangs out. So eventually they gave him a job. And so some of my guys will go up there to see him, and they'll be like, Todd, we saw your dad. He loaded us the fuck up, and then we didn't even have to pay for it. He just told us to walk away from the line. I'm like, huh? That's my dad. But yeah, he's definitely, I was telling Dustin earlier, and Freddie, he called me yesterday. I'm about to close on a new house with Tracy at the end of the month. And he called me, he said, Todd, first of all, he called me 3 times. Speaking of Facebook, let's go back. This brings up a whole nother thing with my dad and Tracy talking about being vanilla. Please do. Don't post politics, religion, race, COVID vaccine right now. Don't post it. I have my dad's Facebook password because he's 73 and he doesn't understand it fully. And some of the shit he posts, I'm like, oh my God. And I got to go in and delete it. But yeah, he called me yesterday and he said, me and Mama will sell our house if you need help with a down payment. And I said, Dad, I got it. You're fine. I appreciate you. I love you, but I don't need it. And he goes, well, Todd, I want to get the fuck out of here. I said, well, Dad, sell your house. I said, you don't have to, but you sell it and come move in with us. I don't give a fuck. So, but yeah, my dad, to answer your question, for sure. All right, well, thank you guys for having me. Anything that I can ever do for you guys, let me know. If you want to reach me, my website is officialtoddprice.com. From there, you can reach my roofing website, my nutrition website, my Calendly, everything you need, my Facebook, my Instagram, everything's on there. But thank you so much for having me. I had a blast.
Thank you, Todd.
Absolutely, brother.